Hey guys, how's it going? Oof, lovely morning. Look at this. Things are growing. I can't remember what everything is. I think there's radishes and there's some kifla potatoes. I can't remember if this is cucumber or Queensland blue pumpkins. Now, Queensland blue pumpkins I've not seen around in a long time. They're pretty awesome. Best flavour. But they're not grown as much these days because they look kind of ugly. I have some other plants coming up. Look at that. Some peas coming up. Some onions. Yep. Got little perpetual spinach sort of recovering. They were struggling for a bit there because I had them inside and didn't have enough light for them. So, again, what's with this consent thing? Well, different ways to approach different things and different ways in which people can understand things. So I came across this, and I've put it in the post. A different way of people outlining it, and basically saying that consent is given freely, where there's a capacity to agree, and must also be voluntary, informed, specific, and current. So when you think about it that way, there's a lot of things that go on, not just in the kink world, but in everyday life, where you can say specifically, technically, I don't have consent to agree to that, but when it comes to the kink lifestyle, a lot of it is, I not say it's not more serious, but the consequences are a lot more serious for things in kink. So having someone that fully has the capacity to agree, and it's voluntary, it's informed, it's specific, and it's current. Here we come into a bit of a stickler because it's the whole, there's no specific thing to say yes or no that all these factors happen, because it varies from person to person and the situation and context. Voluntary, obviously they're not unwilling, but were they informed, like properly informed? Some people believe they are. Some people want to make doubly sure, like, have you considered all the things that can go wrong? If they just say yes, we'll say, well, okay, outline to me. I want you to specifically say to me, I understand X, Y, Z. Is it specific enough? It's not just a general, oh, are you okay with this? And you go, okay, are you specifically okay with me doing X, Y, Z? Is there anything that could possibly be a bit iffy? Or even if you don't know, just say, look, I don't know if anything could be a bit iffy, but look out for these signs, or go slow, or check back with me. Is it current? That's kind of obvious when they talk about things like rolling consent and continual consent and stuff like that. Just checking back. And then there's a capacity to agree to those things. Obviously, if someone's just before or after play, they may not be in the proper headspace to agree to a lot or change any negotiations. Obviously, if they're not conscious, if they're under the influence, anything you negotiate under the influence is just a bit sus. So I'd probably stay away from that. When people are sober, they're away from each other. They have time to think, time to check back with their friends, their family, or do their own sort of get involved in their own lives. They can do a rethink. And some people go against their gut, It's just one of those things. So capacity to agree is where I think a lot of people get stuck, because some people can appear to be fully cognizant of everything and agree, and then they say, oh no, I wasn't. So I'd be very careful about that. However, look up the definitions of all the stuff that I've listed below. voluntary, informed, specific, and think about what it means to you, what it means to other people. Um, there's the whole cup of tea analogy. Like, if obviously someone is passed out or on an influence, they can't really consent to having a cup of tea. So, think about that. It especially comes in, I think, for me, when it comes to serious stuff that you want to do, with regards to play and in dynamics. And it's not just everything's up front here. Here's everything. Let's get started. It's like, no. I want to get to know you. I want to figure out, not just what you tell me, but figure out if it's true. Not saying that they're lying consciously, but there might be things that they're unaware of themselves that they do or don't do. Figure out how they think and how they've come to those decisions and awareness and all that sort of stuff, because that could be very important as to what you can and can't do about the whole issue with consent. And that is that they may or may not research or ask questions in a certain way or understand things in a different way, that you need to check back on. So, okay, so when you say this, did you mean XYZ? Okay, so either rephrasing questions or statements and all sorts of other stuff. It's really quite important. I know I harp on about it, but a lot of people do. I don't think I harp on about it as much. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, the whole consent issue. Take a look below and see, do you agree or don't you agree with all those factors? What they mean to you, what they mean to other people, and have you gone through with other people saying, okay, what do you mean by your voluntary? What do you mean by anything specific? All your assumptions with things how they are. I mean, I've come across it a lot lately. Well, not lately, but just a lot, where people assume a lot of things about various situations, such as, all tops doms must give aftercare and it must be cuddles or something like that. I'm like, no, that's not that's not it. Things with subs, saying that they must do everything that a top or dom says, or they must all be able to take pain. No, those are stereotypes which don't apply, and more research has to be done. Probably more self-awareness needs to be done for that. So, anyway, think about those things. Monday morning, a lot of things going on. Also, hi to Tony. Glad to see you doing better. Take care of you guys. Take care of yourself, guys, especially after the weekend. A pretty interesting weekend. Anyways, catch you guys later. See ya.